day 3. Heading out of the shelter about 7:30, 8 o'clock. Again, a beautiful sunny day. I'll just pan around a little bit so you can get a sense. Just dense forest and a pretty good incline coming up out of the shelter, but now on the ridge heading north. A lot of people at the shelter last night. Small shelter. I stayed in my tent, but beautiful night. Probably in the middle or upper 40s, and you could hear the road noise from I-70. It actually wasn't too bad. Kind of a constant hum, but good. Met a couple other hikers heading north as well, including one gentleman who started in Georgia. I think he said the 27th of January. So he's making really good time, and he's got his family with him for at least, I think, several days. So I think it's good. Let you know the plans for today. Probably go 8 miles or so to the next shelter, and then 10 the following day. I have an option of going 12 today and then 6 tomorrow, but that'll line me up to this, I think, the border of Maryland and Pennsylvania, which will, there happens to be a diner just, I think, a mile off the trail, so I'm hopeful that if I can make this happen, I can have breakfast, a nice warm full breakfast on Thursday morning, pick up a package which I general deliveried to the post office right there, and then again, if plans hold, go 20 miles over the next 2 days, and then take a day off Saturday in Fayetteville, Pennsylvania. I'm not sure I pronounced that correctly, but I think if I'm able to make that happen, that'll be 60 miles before a day off, and get rejuvenated for the next segment. But again, beautiful day. Maybe not quite as warm today as yesterday. I'm sure it was in the 80s yesterday, but today I think mid-70s. And here's a particularly rocky section of the trail, and a friend of mine asked me, what do you think about while you're hiking? Well, here it's if I twist and break my ankle on one of these rocks, will it be the wolves or the bears that get me, or maybe the tigers? One of the children I helped told me to keep an eye out for tigers. I don't think there are too many tigers out here, but saw a couple more deer. But again, making good progress, warming up. Been generally flat. Maybe slight ups and downs, but I'd say generally flat over the last mile or two. Well, the end of day 3, arrived at the Ensign Cornwall shelter. About an 8-mile walk from the Pine Knob shelter, and about 10 miles to my next stop. Really nice area. It is close to a road. I forgot which road it is, so we may hear some noise tonight. But all in all, very nice. I've got my tent set up a little ways away. But again, nice night. Got here about 11:30, so really kind of a short day. I've been relaxing for now a few hours, and we'll get some dinner, either beef stew or lasagna. That sounds good, and get some good rest. I do understand there's light rain coming, thunder showers, maybe tonight and tomorrow morning.
and then off we go.
Good morning, day 4. Now heading out of Ensign Cornwell shelter. About 8 o'clock in the morning. Rain last night. Really, I guess pretty good wind. Just a little rain though. Not too bad. Woke up this morning. Things damp, but not raining. And comfortably cool. Yesterday actually did get much hotter. It had to be up to 80, even in the low 80s. But relaxed around the shelter, had a nice dinner, slept well last night, and off to, let's see, just past the Maryland-Pennsylvania border with a little luck. A little over 10 miles. That'll set me up well to get into a small town near there to pick up a mail delivery. Okay, that's it for the moment. Alright, came upon a shelter in my travels, Raven Rock Shelter, about 4 miles from my overnight stay at Ensign Cornwell. And I wanted to give you a quick look inside this beautiful shelter. Just met the caretaker. He comes by, I guess, maybe a couple times a week and picks up litter and just keeps an eye on the place. So you see kind of the upper deck. People can sleep up there, and then there's a lower deck that sleeping area as well. But really very nice. They varnished the floors, which I think is different from a lot of the shelters. Let's see, there's a privy back behind, and bare, I think those are, bare hanging area over there. But the only downside the caretaker mentioned was that the water was about a quarter of a mile away. Not a bad deal from my perspective. Again, very nice. I think there's some picnic tables over in this area, so there must be several. Okay, I can see several tent areas that are prepared. Very nice shelter. Continuing on day 4, I mentioned that it had done perhaps completed raining. Well, I was incorrect. It rained for about an hour. Not a heavy rain, but certainly enough for me to bring the poncho out. Now the sun is out. Looks like it's clearing. Warming up a little bit. Still cool. The trail has evened out a bit at this point. Mix of rocks. You know, good thing about the rain is it softens the ground, and it's just easier to walk. Now the downside is the rocks are a little slippery, and the leaves can be slippery as well. But you take the good with the bad. But looks like another nice day. I did see a couple other hikers, one with a dog. First night out with the dog, so he's hopeful that it's going to work out well. Let's see, a few other hikers, day hikers, look to be going up and down the hills here. I think there's a park nearby, and that's where people may originate. Coming into Parr County Park. I understand in the summer there's concession stand and things of that nature. I don't think it's operating this early. I'm hopeful I can find a spigot for some water and just take a break. Looks like a very nice spot. I'm sure it's got a couple nice views. I see a few cars, but and the nets are up, but we'll see if I can find a good water source. Here's the view from this park. It's beautiful. You can see quite a long ways. Not sure I wanted to see this sign, but good information. Well, about an hour later, now leaving the Har Mar County Park. Spoke to a gentleman there named Dennis. He occasionally helps out hikers with a ride here or there. We must have talked for 45 minutes. He gave me the lowdown that this park used to be actually an amusement park back in 1876, run by the railroad, and that really made this town. And it was closed down in the 40s, and he told me all about the history. Great conversation, really funny guy, and we shared a pizza from Rockies. It's about a mile down the road, but they delivered for me, and had a nice ice cold Pepsi, and also got some water, as I was concerned about the stream viability down the road here. But it was a great hour. Sat on a park bench, had a pizza, a nice conversation. Found a great place to camp just a mile or so past the park, now in Pennsylvania, beside this beautiful stream. I'm about 2 miles from, let's see, a small town called Blue Ridge Summit, which I hope to have breakfast tomorrow morning and pick up a mail drop. So, a good end to day 4.